Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey everybody, my name's Evan. I'm a dumb dad.
Cheers.
Cheers, dummy.
Dummy.
How are you doing as a parent?
I don't know.
On a scale from 1 to 10.
I'm getting by. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I had to go to urgent care again.
Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
You just trying to keep a streak alive?
Yeah, I feel like they worry.
They have like a punch card or something? You get the 9th visits free?
Listen, it's a nice urgent care. I'm not going to shout it out because I don't remember the name.
Well,
but
also that'd be weird.
It would be weird
to know that.
Well, you say, thanks to the good people at the urgent care.
That's close enough. No freebies.
We had to go because my son just finished out his first week of preschool. So as did your daughter.
Yeah.
They're in the same preschool.
Yeah, they're in the same class.
And let's just walk through the whole journey real quick, and then we'll get to urgent care.
Okay.
But they finished it, and every day. So what are the age ranges? Do you know? I know my son is 3 and your daughter is 4. So obviously it's in there somewhere.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's preschool, so you know.
Pre-kindergarten. The only reason I'm bringing that
up. But there's definitely a 5-year-old girl in there. You've seen her. I think she drives there. I don't know what's going on there, but
you know how 5
some
works.
sort of.
It's not.
It's the maturest little.
Doesn't matter.
3-year-old
Country, state. Nobody can drive. But she
not with
does.
that kind of confidence, no.
But I did buy her beer outside of a 7-Eleven. She asked me really nicely.
She asked me so nicely.
Yeah. Excuse me. And so anyway, we finished out our first week of preschool, and every day was really funny because day 1 happened, then day 2 comes out, and my son is like crying as he's leaving.
Yeah,
which
is the total opposite. Like, you know, it's like, "Mommy, Daddy, I'm excited to see you."
Yeah,
you know, he's like obliterated day 2.
Yeah,
he's all upset.
Sad he didn't get a sticker. And then, but neither did your daughter. The day 3 comes. Still upset about the sticker, but not as much so. He's already kind of made peace with it. Your daughter has a sticker now.
My daughter's pretty sticker consistent. The funny thing, too, is like kind of how we come to find out about it, but it was like day 2, we found out only one kid got a sticker. It was kind of a wild, rough day.
It was a wild, rough day.
It was a second day of preschool with 3 and 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
I imagine every day might
how
be
do
a bit
they
of
get
a jungle.
stickers how do they get any stickers ever? They're nightmares at this age. I give them stickers because they're being awful, and I need them to calm it down.
Just stick these on the floor.
Which then I regret because it's on the floor, it's on the glass, and you got the cheap stickers that are like on the bottom of like when you get like cheap dinnerware, and it's just
the
like
face of it comes off.
It comes off clean like it's supposed to, but this like sticky part stays on there.
Let me tell you, it's like venturing into pet peeve valley. There's nothing I appreciate more than when you buy something with a like you buy a glass or a plate or something like that, and you go to peel off the sticker and it just comes off very nicely. You think like, I can tell you I will stick with this company for the rest of my life. I appreciate the attention to detail here.
I can tell you the first time that happened in my entire life, and it was when we were unwrapping my wedding china.
Yeah.
Taking him off, turn around, I was like, there's a sticker. What?
Oh, they thought this through.
I mean, that's up there with taking like the plastic film off of like an electronic device.
It might be burned into me when I was like younger. The first set of golf clubs I ever bought when I was like a sophomore year or like freshman year of high school. First golf club set I ever bought, like very nice irons, very excited about it, and I was there with my mom. We had like talked about it with my dad. I'm there with my brother, my sister, standing in the golf shop, and the guy's like, "I'm gonna clean these up for you," and he spends at least 5 minutes on the first one, and there's 14 clubs. And I remember as a 14, 15-year-old kid waiting him to do the first one and going, you know what? I'll just take care of it when I get home. Because the backs of my knees are numb and I can't watch you do that for another 35 minutes.
Do you know how old I am? You know, people say kids these days are impatient. That's every kid ever in the history of always.
I want those, and you're making it so I can't have them, so you need to stop.
That's the sign of getting old when you forget how impatient you were as a younger
Yeah.
person. There was kids these days are so impatient. They've always been impatient.
And you act all surprised sitting on the tissue paper when your doctor's like, you have heightened blood pressure. And you're like, what are you talking about? But can we hurry this up, please?
I need to go. So day 3, he's sad. And it was such a funny moment of, I was like, you didn't get a sticker? And then your daughter had a sticker. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I get how the sticker thing works.
I can assume.
But let me just confirm. Immediately my son, because now he's on day 3, so he's in a routine. What we do is get out of preschool right next to a playground. Literally right next to the building. Public playground. We've gone to it the last 2 days. We're on day 3. Why wouldn't we sticker or no sticker? Go to the playground.
Right.
So he starts booking it, and I'm calling after him. I'm like, Jude. He keeps running, and you go, I got him. And then I turn to the teacher and go, so why didn't you get a sticker today?
And I realize that as I'm asking you now, as my friend is handling my son, who is just...
And he's out of sight.
Running...
Please continue.
He's going to be one of those kids, like, I seen your kid, like, today we were at the playground, too. And my daughter is like, I want to go home, but I want Jude and Kevin to come with us to play at our house. Mm-hmm. That's what my daughter says.
This is today. This isn't...
This is today. This is current
sticker day.
Yeah, this is not sticker day. And I ask, I'm going to... You were working on one of our posts, and so I go, hey, buddy. Hey, Jude. Hey, Mr. Jude. Hey, pal. Hey, Jude. And you're like, Jude, Evan's talking to you. And I'm like, Jude. Hey, Jude. Hey, buddy. And like, I mean, like, no one's there. Like, no one's talking to him. But
no one's at the door. Someone's in the house.
But he's laser focused on what he's doing. He was doing.
Yeah.
He was like today. He was like tracing the letters ABCs on the wall.
That's right. You went over there, and I even told you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get through.
Yeah.
He's
on. Yeah. He's only on like G. It's gonna be a minute. But I see that in him, and I think like he's so late. It's like how he knows all the dinosaurs. When he's like concentrating on something, he knows exactly what it is. Now, to me, like we're from the ADHD school of children. And I was never diagnosed with it, but like
I didn't get to go to an ADHD school. I went to a normal
But I
school.
feel like when I was a kid, I feel like I have a tinge of it. I don't know if you can have a tinge of ADHD, but I definitely will. Somebody will be speaking to me. I've always been told it was like, well, you have like selective hearing, and it was like I didn't even know you were talking to me. I was watching something, or I was reading something, or looking at something, and someone's like, I called your name like 3 times. And it was like, in no way did I hear you and then not listen. Yeah. I was just so focused on what I was doing. I didn't even hear you saying anything to me.
That's why so many husbands say they have ADHD.
I know. But in my life, it really is true. And I feel bad about it because my wife will say something to me and I'll kind of go, mm-hmm. She's like, did you hear anything I said? And I was like, no.
Well, that's on you.
I was so focused on what I was doing.
Here's the problem. That's you.
That I was
you
trying
made
to be
sound.
nice. Yeah, I know. I was trying to be nice and acknowledge, but like really, I didn't. I was so focused on what I was doing, I wasn't even listening. And I feel bad about that, but it's definitely something that I do.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Guilty of it.
I'm guilty of that as well. But oh God, you throw any leverage you had out the window with them.
100%. 100%. Well, but that's that's again, that's like something I've talked about with my wife for many times, and I acknowledge like I'm sorry. I mean, it's not that I don't care what you're saying. It's not that I don't get to listen at all. But I was doing something, which I don't know. Sometimes just like I pour all my focus into, and so I can't hear you saying something to me. In some ways, that Anyway, Kevin is going to the restroom. He's leaving. So, but in some ways, I think that's good to focus so intently on something that it gives all your focus. But other ways, I think that's you miss out on. It's like stickers sometimes.
At his age, there's no controlling it. He's just gonna be where he is, and when break's over, when commercial's over, the show will resume.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But I think,
or rather, funny, we're waiting for the show to go to commercial.
yeah. I think it's so funny, like how, I mean, again, it's like about a year in difference. So like my daughter's 4, it's different.
Yeah.
But like on the way home, I get like the rundown of like, Dad, Jude doesn't pay attention to the teacher, and so he doesn't get a sticker. And like, so now I get the rundown of like.
So here's what she said.
He doesn't get a sticker, and here's why.
Here's the thing. When I asked her, so when did he get the sticker? And I even prefaced it with, to be clear, I don't care. I don't
Exactly.
want you thinking I'm walking up there.
Where's my son's participation
fists
trophy?
on my hips. Going, we're not leaving. You might as well get the phone out because this is going to be a scene. I was like, I don't care. I'm just curious if there's anything that I need to work on or whatever. And she was just like,
or post
she goes,
about.
I just want you to know. Yeah, she said she was the one who was like, well, first of all, just so you know, only one kid got a sticker yesterday. It was a bad day. And I was like, day 2. And
you just gave a yellow card to every player.
Whoops.
So where was the discipline?
Yep. So she was like, yeah, they get the sticker if they have a good day, if they're doing stuff, if they're listening. And I was like, sure, that's what I figured. That's what I figured it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then she slid in the best line, which was like, for your son, the last straw with him was that he climbed these stack. And she pointed at these like kids' chairs that were all stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure.
He was climbing the stack of chairs. And so
No. I can't help but get past the fact that you said the last straw.
yeah, the last straw was that move
And
there.
you gave him multiple opportunities to get a sticker, and he...
Which is consistent. We have a consistent answer now. Because in the car today, my daughter was telling me, Jude doesn't pay attention to the teacher, so he got his sticker taken away. And I was like, oh, he did? Was he upset about it? He's like, yeah, he cried. I was like, okay, well, maybe... I was telling him... I told her, maybe you could be a buddy to him and show him how to listen because you've gotten stickers. So maybe you can show him like, hey, Jude, it's time to pay attention. Or maybe you could be a little bit of a buddy. And she was like, yeah, he climbed on the counter and she took it away.
Yeah. He's there to have fun. There's a lot of bright colors in those rooms. Letters and numbers, which he's a huge fan of.
For real.
What are we doing here?
He knew right away. He walks into that classroom. He's like, a lot of bright colors. I'm not leaving here with any sort of reward. I know that.
So cut to Friday. His left, his right eye is a horse of a different color.
Horsey
of a different color.
Thank you.
It is pink. And I was like, well, around the eye. And we were like,
sure.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, it makes sense. First week of preschool.
First week.
You're going to get, it's going to be something, right?
Pink eye, these kids are all learning how to use the bathroom. This makes sense. Whether this would happen. Well, let's see. It's towards the end of the day. We're not going to urgent care now. It's probably closed, and we're certainly not going to the ER for this.
Right.
So that it always happens on a Friday night, Saturday
100%.
morning.
Because now you're at, is it urgent? Is it emergent? I think there's an emergency room, but
Yeah.
urgent care, when do they open? It's like,
So we wake
my
up.
whole weekend's ruined.
Wake up. We were going to go do some stuff. And we just looked at his eyeball and went, that's probably not.
The stuff is canceled.
Probably shouldn't go. We were going to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like,
Give everybody,
that's not
give
okay.
everyone pink eye.
let's go to urgent care, and then maybe we just won't go at all.
Right.
Let's go to urgent care and find out we definitely have pink eye. So we drive to urgent care, which I have been to, and the listeners of this podcast will know 3 times now in, I don't know, 2 months, 3 maybe.
There's a lot of people standing up out of their chairs going, you think that's a lot, huh?
For the one, yeah, not for both kids.
There's a lot of people out there that have the habitual chair climber, but their kid's 10. So they've been to the
Sure.
ER.
I'm not ruling out the ER.
It's early signs.
I'm already sending the ER Christmas cards. I'm well versed in that we will get to know each other. I look forward. I send them letters that say, I look forward to meeting you in person.
I look forward to our continued
Yeah.
relationship in the future.
I'm so excited to meet you face to face. And they're like, who's this pen pal? Oh, he's a father.
Oh,
That's pretty.
he'll be here
here.
soon enough.
So I get in the car, go to the urgent care that I have been to 2 other times now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about a dumb dad moment. I drove 10 to 15 minutes in the wrong direction.
Oh.
Where I was just like, where am I going? And
You just started driving somewhere?
I was just positive of where it was, and I was right about the street. It's a main road called Ventura Boulevard. I knew it was on Ventura, went down there, and I was driving.
Oh, but it's like you head down perpendicular to Ventura and take a left, but you should have taken a right?
Yes.
I hate when I do that.
And I did it for a long time, like a really long time. And I was like, we're coming up on the 405, and I know you don't go under that.
I know it's not that area.
So I was like, I'm just going to turn around. And now I'm like laser focused on that side of the road, driving, looking. And then I get to the point where I go, well, it's not this far either. Did I miss it again? No, it's just really far to the right. And I went. So then I get there.
But it all takes longer when you're second guessing yourself.
Yes.
When you're second guessing yourself, all of a sudden time is in slow motion and you're behind.
And my son he's been very focused on my driving lately. And he was like, he just sees me.
With his one good eye.
With his one good eye. The other one is just a wreck.
Yeah.
And I turn around, I do a U-turn, and he's like, why are we going back home? And I was like, we're not. Your dad just has all of the technology at his fingertips and is still handling this.
Untrustworthy.
So poorly.
Of said technology.
And then I get there, and I was like, why are you here? And I was like, my son has pink eye, and we go in, and he just had and it's funny. This is the thing that'll never, it'll never cease to amaze me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to wait tables, people would come in, and I worked at a New Orleans style restaurant, and people would say, what is chicken fried steak? And I would have to explain to them. I'd have to explain it 4 times a day at least.
Sure.
Because I'd get a new table, what's chicken fried steak? And I'd explain it. And then you just keep going. And you do that every day. And then every once in a while, a waiter would walk up to me and go, how do people not know what chicken fried steak is? And I was like, they don't work here. They don't get that question every day. This is their first experience.
Also, it's a Louisiana style restaurant, which is probably, but we're not in Louisiana.
It's in New York. So there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't know. And so I was like, hey, he's got a pink eye. Go into the room. And the doctor's like, so what's going on? And I was like, well, my son, he just finished his first week of preschool. I think somebody pooped in his eye. He's got a pink eye.
You get it. You get it. It's preschool.
It's classic. And he was like, he looks at it and goes, that's not pink eye. That's just a sty. And I was like, I didn't go to college, so that's why I'm here.
Secondly,
yeah.
What's chicken fried steak?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking you that. I just feel a hunch that maybe you could tell me why.
Okay, so chicken fried steak is a term. But yeah, it was just a sty. And then I was like, can I go to Chuck E. Cheese's? And he was like, love Chuck E. Cheese's.
Don't get too close to the animals, the robotic animals.
Those are
layered in pink eye.
Yeah. Terminator 2 was written by a man sitting at a Chuck E. Cheese watching that band play
over and over. If those things walk up the stage, it's over. It's funny. 100%. I mean, how many times do we make that joke? We're sort of waiting for our kids to go to preschool, and we're thinking, like, that's when we'll get COVID finally, or that's going to be the thing. I mean, and pre-pandemic, when we took my son to preschool, I mean, it really was that sort of traditional, the first 3 months. He had hand, foot, and mouth. And croup. Yep. I mean, all that's like, it's like, oh, you adopted a dog from a kennel? That's great. They have kennel cough. Go get some medication. Yeah. Because it's like, that's part of it. It's part of the journey. And didn't really happen so far. I mean, I don't think whether he got that from preschool or not, who knows. But like, we didn't get them coming home with colds or whatever. And what's funny about that is like going back to school this year, where in LA, it's been so much more open, going back without masks, all these things. In the beginning of this year, it's like my kids got croup. Now here's the thing, like croup is like a baby's illness. But as we were explained to by the doctor, it was like, yeah, but like all these kids generally would be going to school around each other all the time, sharing germs because they're kids. It's how it works, and you kind of just get through being a kid. But they didn't have that experience for the longest time. It was been so much isolation. That's this year.
Your second grader.
My second grader, who's 7 years old,
Isn't
got croup,
funny?
And they were like, but all these kids, all their immune systems kind of got like a reset button pushed on them. Because normally what they would experience is like fighting off some germs.
Because they weren't being as gross as they could be.
Around 20 other kids.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're potting or careful where you're going or wearing masks to school, you're limiting it so much.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing about all this has been, let's avoid getting something dangerous like COVID and all these things. But I also haven't really been sick in 2.5 years, and I've loved that part of it as well. Just general colds and whatnot from taking your kids to school or being involved in public settings. So
welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure my style will show up in about 2 days.
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming. Winter's coming. But I will say this. Today was the first day, and I literally had this moment today. And tell me how you feel about this, or if something like that, if you've thought about this.
Oh, I will.
Today was like so my son got accepted into a different, like a magnet program at the school, which is sort of a different program. So he ended up switching classes 3 weeks through the school year this year. So that was kind of a thing we adjusted a month into school.
Yeah.
The same week, our children are going to preschool. So my son was in school. Our kids were in school for like a month.
Yeah.
Just about a month. And then we sent our kids to preschool. So it's another emotional journey we're going on at the same time.
Sure was.
And with it just kind of, this, and it's a new school year. Your kids are, no matter what age you are or your children are, they're going into a new school year, a new year, more responsibility, all these things. But today I picked up it was very routine feeling is what I'm getting at. Today was like, I took my son to school, and then I came back, and then an hour later we dropped our kids up for preschool, and then you and I had some office hours, and then we went and picked up our kids from preschool, and then we went our separate ways, and I went and got my son from school, and I was like, how was your day? And he was like, great. I mean, it was as simple as that. Like, no, like dramatic stories that happened, or here's a crazy thing that happened, or we got to go to science class for it was just like, fine Tuesday. And for the first time, it felt like, okay, we're in the routine now. I guess maybe I just felt like the beginning of the year so far, I've been on my toes the whole time.
Gotcha.
Don't forget about early pickup. Don't leave the coffee on the car. Drop your preschooler off.
You wanted to hang out today because I have to go pick up my daughter early.
Because he's in the magnet program at his school now, there's a lady that greets him at the door every day or at the gate every day. And on Tuesday, it was the first Tuesday, she was like, good morning, Emmett. Good morning. Good morning to all. She knows all the children intimately. She does a pretty good job of knowing everybody and welcoming them into the day, which is cool. But it was like, welcome in, all right. And looked at me and a couple of the people and a dad or two and goes, 1:25 pickup today.
Wow.
It's like, you don't listen to the pod, do you? Or do you just, it's just because I'm a dad and you assume?
Okay.
Which is fair. But I'll be here at 1:24.
Can you?
You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Can you give me one of those coasters that vibrate and glow when the pizza's ready? And when it's pick
Can
up.
you imagine dropping your kid off?
Oh, I got to pick up the kid.
Number 186, and you just throw it in your back pocket. It's like, what the hell? Oh my God, I got to go.
How do I turn this? Oh, this has been going on for 20 minutes. That would be nice.
I like to, every time I like to go, when I hand those in, I tell them, I'm pretty sure I won something. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm a winner.
How long you been doing that dad joke?
A while. Way before kids.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's kind of a fun one. I don't know. I try to just, I really do try to, it's usually I aim at the person that looks like they don't really like their job.
Okay, that's it.
But it also might be because of people like me making stupid jokes like that. I'm not really
the
sure.
most dad thing you ever said. I said, how long have you been making that dad joke? You go, I'd like to make sure everybody's having fun. That was your response.
Don't you think that?
I just want to make sure everybody's having fun.
Wouldn't you rather everybody have a little bit of a good time?
Yeah. I tip them well. You tip them well. Tip them well.
I don't really care for them. I
They don't care.
I tip well, but I don't know. I just think let's just lighten the mood around here. So we're in the routine. So it's 240 days of this is what I'm getting. However many more days.
I don't know. I'm not going to count.
A bunch.
I refuse.
Well, you should know you're the PTA president. You should have a clear marking as to the season and schedule.
I'm a lame duck. I'm a lame duck president.
That's your opinion.
I will say today was not a routine day because we made a decision that we might go back on, but we probably won't. And that was, so yesterday, we had a nice weekend with the family. Monday, back to school. Kids are running around, doing their thing, come home from school, they play. And it was a pretty good day. It wasn't a day heavy with screens or anything like that. Obviously, it got screen time. But, like, we went and did things. And end of the night, my son, who had taken a nap after school, him and my daughter were both up well past 10 p.m.
Tonight?
Last night.
Last night.
And it was just like coming out like 5, 6, 7 times, like 8, 9, 10 times. It was so many. It was just relentless. And they just kept coming out. And it was just like this look of just like, we have so much energy. We don't know what to do. And
we know we're supposed to be in there sleeping, but
Dad, I'm telling you this, hide the matches. We don't know what we're going to do tonight. We got wild energy, man.
If we could get a stack of chairs in the room, we'd really appreciate it.
I know the windows break, but will they hurt us, or are they turn into like particles like cars do?
Is it safety glass? Do you know? What's the rating here? Because we're really looking to fuck some shit up in there.
Do you guys have Apple Care on the walls?
Because I don't know if you can hear it in there, but we are losing.
We're cracking some, and I think it's sheetrock. I don't think it's drywall. So they were a nightmare last night, and it was just like you couldn't fault them. You were just like, you guys just got a ton of energy. I still hate you right now, but you got a lot of energy. This is nobody's fault. And, they're feeding off of each other. So my wife and I were like, I think we have to pull the trigger on ending naps. So today we just went and today was a pretty easy day to do it. We'll say tomorrow's, because today was, like you said, I was hanging out with you. He gets out of school at noon. We hung out at the playground, went back to your place for a little bit. Otherwise, we would have stayed at the playground until pickup, then picked up my daughter. Now you're home. Now it's like 1:30, 1:40. Well, now we're home, and no, you're not going down for a nap. Your sister's home, and let's play, and let's do stuff. And we did that. And then I went to a playground, and out cold. I know that's not going to be every time. I know he'll get used to not napping, and then we'll still have nights where we struggle.
Sure.
I recognize that, but it was definitely like we have to make this call. I think we have to make the call for him, because he's at that stage where he's like, he was wrecked. He was eating dinner.
Well, he's 3. It's not going to do you very much good consulting with him.
I'm not going to ask him, but he was eating dinner.
You can barely get his attention.
He's eating dinner like a guy who drank too much, and we're like, well, you have to put something in your body, man. Like
You're really going to regret it if you don't put something in your body.
Just eat 2, but this is pizza. This is pizza. Come on, buddy. You like pizza.
Come on, we're having a good time, right?
You want lemonade? I'll get you lemonade, but you got to promise me you're going to bite that, because it can't just be liquid. That's how it was at dinner. And then he was,
The amount of work you do as the person dealing with your friend that drank way too much at the bar, trying to get them home, and being a parent of a toddler, it's almost the exact same thing.
It is exactly the same thing, except your friend usually will wake up in the morning and be like, hey, sorry about last night.
Exactly.
And
potentially.
And more importantly than that, they wake up, and if they've gone that hard the night before, they, 1, sleep in.
100%.
And they, 2, have no energy to ruin your day.
Exactly.
They're just in their room the whole day. Our kids have a late night. My son actually did sleep in this morning. That was, again, the other thing. He slept in, which he does not do. He's the early riser.
Here's your answer right there.
We were like, all right, we got to pull the
plug
on this nap thing.
But so many it's interesting how many things about parenting are, how many examples can we run through? Like potty training, sleep training, teaching them to eat new things or whatever. And so much of it is sort of repetition, but also like paying attention to your kids. Paying attention to your kids' reaction to things. Because you start to kind of go, I don't really know how many more excuses I can make to like justify. Well, no, he didn't really nap, but he slept for like 25 minutes, and you make the excuse to yourself and your partner like, I mean, that is kind of a nap. And then he goes 3 days without napping. And then you have a big day and he naps. You're like, see, he does nap. But then, like, the numbers don't lie. And you think back and you're like, I mean, really, the signs are there. For the last 2 weeks or so, it's like, he's not napping it or whatever. You just like,
that's the thing. Our math isn't quite that. I know that's an extreme example, but like, he doesn't take 25-minute naps. He doesn't. The shortest he'll take is like an hour and a half. Like, he still naps hard.
He's also been
skipping a cup or...
I would trade a lot of experiences with my children for the sleep schedule your children have been on the first 3 or 4 years.
No. Trade? No. Have?
I'll give you a sticker. I'll give you a sticker.
Have? We can talk. Trade? Nothing.
You could probably convince your drunk friend, buddy, come on, don't climb that, please. It's time to go home and drink some water. I'll give you a sticker. You'd probably get the same reaction out of them, like, what kind of sticker do you got?
Yeah. Do you want? Well, we'll move on from the sticker thing.
If you don't get in the taxi and come home with me, you don't get stickers. All right.
Yeah. My daughter did say, which I've really appreciated, at dinner tonight, we're all sitting there having dinner, we're talking, and my wife is asking Jude, my son, about how's school today and what'd you go over? So I kind of am like giving him hints of stuff he's already told me. I was like, what letter? And he's like, B. And I was like, what sound does it? What sound does it make? And he's like, B. And I was like, you're crushing it. And she's like, did you get a sticker today? She knew the answer. And he was like, no, I didn't get a sticker today. And she's like, oh no, my daughter goes, why didn't you get a sticker today? and my wife goes, I don't know, why didn't you get a sticker today? And he was like, I wasn't listening to the teacher. And my daughter just goes, oh yeah, you gotta listen to the teacher, but who cares? We have stickers at home.
You're not helping.
I was like, shh. And here's the worst part. She was being that like inflammatory older sibling where she said that and then 10 seconds later was like, I have a sticker chart. If I get 6 more, I get a prize. And I was like, don't you pretend that stickers don't matter to you. But then
they don't if you don't care about them, but I care about them, and I am really close to getting a dinosaur eraser.
She did follow it up with. But you can't put your own stickers on a sticker chart. You get in a lot of trouble.
And how do you know that? Well, because
I was one away.
Yeah. And then 3 got ripped off.
Yeah. I used the stickers from the China set, and those came right off.
I really appreciate you saving those, by the way. They saved me from
they're in our wedding album.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. For as many things as we pay attention to our kids doing, we feel so in tune with, it feels like a normal day. It feels like this. Our kids are not getting stickers, and here's why. Which, I mean, I think it's great that we're paying attention to our kids and everything, but we still make stupid mistakes. Yeah. And I have like the simplest stupid mistake.
Okay.
As a dumb dad moment this week. We don't go often, but we needed to go to Costco. Mm-hmm. And we decided, okay, here's what we should do. Let's allocate Sunday morning to go to Costco. Yeah,
no, that's what everybody says.
And, we'll be smart. We'll get there bright and early when they open at 10 a.m.
That's no such thing. But yeah.
And my kids have never been to Costco before. We didn't go a lot during the pandemic and had only gone so much. Once you could like do a small pickup orders at places like Target and stuff. Like that's kind of what we've been doing for so often. It's like run, and then we have one close by. So, but it was kind of like just a few items really you could use in bulk.
Yeah.
Etc.
Yeah.
So we thought, all right, well, let's go. So it wasn't, and I'll be honest, we all got stickers in the end. It wasn't a horrible show. Mm-hmm. But the idea that like we were going to coast through Costco.
No such thing.
No such thing. On a weekend morning.
Sunday
with a 7
morning.
and a 4-year-old. As if
both parents?
We'll get both parents, all 4 of us.
There's at least something.
At least something. But it was kind of funny, like we kind of went in there and then 3 aisles in, I realized like, oh, this is not like
fun.
Gonna be 30 minutes and we're out of here. Like,
oh no.
But I will say this, I adapted pretty quickly and it was like, we're here.
Dragged them
we're
into
here.
the car and
we're
said,
here.
honey,
Like,
we're good.
Let's just go in and out of all the aisles. Let's look around. Leaned into it, which was fine. But I was keen enough to where we got in there early, and some guy with a clipboard hit us up, one of those guys. And he's like, hey, can I talk to you a little bit about your cable situation? And we're like, sure. We just walked in. So it's like you feel like you have time on your hands. Wow. But then he starts explaining you could go to Costco cable. And like, what's Costco cable? Well, all we really do is source the best deal for you and give you $10 off. And the whole time your ears are perked. You're like, I need you to talk to me longer so I identify the catch.
Yeah.
Like, why am I altering my entire situation because you're offering it to me? But the longer he explained it to us, the more it seemed like this is a pretty good deal. So we just keep the normal cable we have with the same cable company we have.
You can't talk to anybody
at
Costco.
It. I know.
It's always a good deal. It's always
Costco.
A good deal.
But where we sort of snapped out of it was like, I think both not a sponsor yet. Hit us up, Costco.
Yeah.
And you can sponsor us in bulk. And but we realized like we are in a limited time. We don't know what here's the when you take your kids out to a situation like that, you don't know what your time limit is.
When they're fresh, when they're like ready to go, just had breakfast.
Yeah.
Haven't been up too long. You don't know what the window is.
We don't know what the window is. I mean, it could be 2.5 hours. We could have a great time and they think it's cool. It could also be 15 minutes, and then like you're dragging them through the rest of Costco for another 35 minutes,
that
and
floor,
it's a nightmare.
That floor is packed concrete. They take one fall in aisle 2, you're going to forget some things.
Exactly. So we told this guy, look, man, it sounds like a great deal. We're going to have to come back. Because like what I don't want to do is waste 66.67% of my time standing here talking to you when I got a Costco to get through. Mm-hmm. So it ultimately ended up being fine. We did what you're supposed to do at Costco, which is you intend to go there for a few things, buy way more than you need.
Way more.
But yeah, it just felt like, oh, we need to like snap out of our dreamland of how this is going to go and ride the wave like this because we don't know how this is going to go. The other dumb parenting moment we had was, I think because it was Sunday, a little bit of a lazy Sunday, woke up, had late coffee, kind of hung around with the kids, watched devices, cartoons and stuff until it was like, why don't we go now? They're going to open at 10. We can get there early and everything. But it's like, my wife and I really only had a cup of coffee. So we're hungry. Going to Costco shopping while you're hungry, real slippery slope. Because you want 36 of everything that looks good, right? So we were able to get away with one cart full of food and items. We didn't go too nuts, but it just felt like I think at the end of the day, it kind of felt like we got away with one, but we realized in the moment, was a dangerous decision.
The amount of times, and I went to Costco recently as well, the amount of times I'm the only one who goes to Costco. My wife works during the day. And
when you're smart, you go on the weekday.
Always go on the weekday. Before preschool, brought my son. Watch as much iPad as you want. I can't. With those carts are big and they'll run you over.
They should give you, like, you came during the weekday, here's a sticker.
Yeah. No, they draw him a smiley face. I spend all the money, but he gets a smiley face on the receipt. Cool. To mark up all that hundreds of dollars. Happiness. But I'll get through like 7 aisles, 8 aisles and look at my cart, and I'll look at my cart and go, you're doing all right, Kev. You're doing all right. And then hard cut to full cart in the pickup line going, well, you do need all of it. Now, you could use all of it.
I know, yeah. Smash cut to calling your wife going, hey, sorry, I know you're in a meeting. So these, I know we have camping chairs, but these ones have like a cooler in the bottom. And
I need you to take out all the light bulbs that we have. What?
It's a pack of 30. And like, we could just do all the ones in the house.
Hello?
Hello?
Service here is terrible.
I need to go back and talk to that cell phone guy. Yeah, Costco's a dangerous place.
I would venture to say Costco is my Target.
I don't even know what that means.
Target is a lot of people's safe haven. A lot of people love going to Target, and I love Target too. but I don't have a relationship with Target. You know, it's great. It's got all the things. It's wonderful. But when I go to Costco, one, I have a good time, and the people watching is unmatched.
The sample game is off the charts.
The sample game is great.
My son loved that, by the way.
Did he like?
Was like really all about like, well, I'll try some rice pilaf. Why not? Creme brulee. What's that? Give it a shot.
Okay, that's better.
Chicken soup. All right.
God, what did you go on Elderly Day? What were these samples?
They had chicken soup. He liked chicken soup.
If you've got soft teeth, come on Sundays to
My son
Costco.
He's an inside out boy. I don't know what to tell you. Wild rice sample. Loved it. Wild rice.
Yeah.
Kid doesn't even like mashed potatoes.
Wild rice is the one that doesn't cook. It's just there's a hard one hidden in there every time.
Al dente for days.
Yeah.
And he's just loved that. Can we buy that?
Yeah.
Chicken soup. Loved it.
He's like, where's the Werther's taste card?
I'll tell you what I could use, a hard candy and a nap.
Let's go talk to the optical section before we leave. I'd like to harass them and then yell at the hearing aid people.
I was just going to say, let me let them in the market for a hearing aid too. Not necessarily for any reason. I just want to see what they go for these days. What are the battery life on these things?
Guys, what are your thoughts on what's your Costco? Do you guys like going to Costco? Do you go with your kids? Write in and tell us your dumb parenting moments. We actually have one we're going to read while Evan pulls that up.
Where do you take your kids that you shouldn't have taken them, and you
Exactly.
realize it within the first 5 minutes?
Give a partner, if you can, give a partner a break and have that partner go by themselves and get the things. But you guys can message us at dumbdadpod on Instagram, or you can email us dumbdadpod@gmail.com and tell us your dumb parenting moments. We'd love to hear them. We'll read them on the pod. We'd love to. Evan.
Such as this one right here.
Hit us
Sent
up.
to us by Amy on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
She says, I have a dumb moment for you.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my son to speech therapy, and he needed to be changed before going in. Well, I forgot to restock the diaper bag and only had one pull-up that was his younger brother's size, but I was going to make it work.
Yeah,
this is where a lot of the sirens go off and a lot of red alarms.
A
warning.
lot of sirens. Totally get it. Right there with you.
As I was putting it on, I accidentally ripped the side.
Uh-oh.
Wow. And this is like...
Why? Because it was too small?
So luckily I had 2 small safety pins in my car, and I safety pinned the pull-up and sent him in. Note to self, always check the diaper bag before leaving the house. I mean, how many times have we done that? Same mistake. That's like the trope. How many times you and I made this joke together? The trope of like the diaper bag is like you use the diaper bag a lot, but it's more of like a safety valve, right? You leave the house, you put 2 essential items in the diaper bag, which is what? Like a water bottle and a snack. Mm-hmm. But 3 months down the line, your kid does have the accident, and you're like, oh, well, I'm a smart dad. I brought the diaper bag with me. Oh, these diapers are really small. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's no change of clothes in here because I spilled my coffee in the car and I used your change of clothes to wipe it up, and I put them in the laundry and didn't put another change of clothes in here. I'm in real trouble.
I got way better with my second with walking out the door, like grab the diaper bag, throw some snacks in, didn't check clothes. No, I was still in a bad situation there. But I was regularly changing the diaper without a blowout or...
Right.
And so I would just grab like a couple diapers. And it just got to the point where there was basically a deck of cards that were diapers. It was just like, when I was changing, I was like, okay, we got a 3, I got a 2, I got a 3 of clubs. Oh no, that's just a dirty diaper. And
sure,
I had so many.
You hooked up your future self with those intentions, but I mean, the other joke is where's a good place to keep an extra? The glove box is a great place to keep an extra diaper, but there's like a small window of opportunity where certain places are good to sneak an extra diaper in because you never know. But by the time you never know, versus how long ago you thought about that. The sizes are so different.
It's a gamble. It's all gambling.
It's all a gamble.
You're just hoping that future you will look look in the rearview mirror and wink at your past self. You did it. But like that window came and went, and the diaper is obsolete.
Yeah, really what you're doing is winking at yourself going, you couldn't throw like 3 sizes in there? You had them.
And then you're also like wondering when you're sitting there with like your whatever, your 2T diaper and you need a 4T, and you're like, oh, I actually remember when there was like one night where if we were like, if we just had one more diaper, are we just sure there's nowhere else there's a diaper? Because I'll go to the store, but we're sure there's nowhere.
But I don't want to go to the store right now. I'm already supposed to go to Costco tomorrow and buy 300 of them.
Okay. I'll go to the store. And then you come back and your glove opens and it falls out. But you've already got the overpriced, drugstore pack. And they're swimmer diapers, so you hope he doesn't pee in them because that just waxes out the side.
It's all a real, it's a roller coaster.
Who wrote that?
Amy,
thank you, Amy,
for sending that in.
Everybody send in your stories. We love reading them. Reminds us that we're not as dumb as we think. Well, we're dumb.
We may be dumb, we're not stupid.
Yeah, well, it's up to you guys to decide. And do so by rate and reviewing this podcast on Apple Podcasts. But you can find this wherever you get your podcasts. Mm-hmm. Again, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Dumb Dad Pod, or The Dumb Dads on YouTube, where you can watch this podcast.
Watch us right now. We're sitting here talking.
And other long sketches. If you follow us on social media, we have longer sketches on there. Evan, do you have anything to send us? Any jokes to send us off?
I sure do. Oh, okay. When I was leaving Costco, the Costco worker looked at me and said, he asked if I wanted a box for my groceries.
Uh-huh.
Do you want a box for your groceries? I'm like, no, man, I just want to pay for them and leave. This has been a big enough trip. I just need to get out of here. He wasn't even worth doing.
It just sounds like you yelled at the guy, and the guy was like, I don't think you understood the question.
I don't think you understand what I was saying. I was like,
do you want a box? You are going to pay for these.
Look at me. I just need a $1.50 soda and a Polish hot dog, and I need to get out of here.
Please do.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for hanging out.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?